Hey there, Super Family! This is Super Chat 2023, episode 4. Tonight, I'm happy and honored to be joined by our next wonderful group. Please welcome Miss Botswana,
Hello.
Miss Ghana,
Hello.
Miss Kenya,
Hi.
Miss Namibia,
Hello.
Miss South Africa,
Hello.
and Miss Zambia.
Hello.
Before we get down to our today's 4 questions, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that you can help your favorite candidate advance to the next round of the Miss Supranational 2023 competition. Check out the description box below this video. There's a voting link there. You can vote for your favorites in the Miss Supranational app, so make sure you have it on your device to help your favorite contestant advance to the next round of the competition, and subscribe to Miss and Mr. Supranational official YouTube channel. Now we're ready to go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello, Miss Supranational Botswana. Could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Good day, Ivan. My name's Dabilo Moses from Botswana. I'm a 23-year-old student studying broadcasting and journalism at the University of Limpopo. 2 colors that say Dabilo: red, boldness, and elegance, and white represents my authentic side and my willingness to learn new things.
Great to meet you, Dabilo. Next up, we have Miss Ghana and her short introduction. Hello, here you go.
Hello. My name is Helen Mate, a bachelor degree holder in banking and finance and a United Nations Youth Association for Ilokobo municipality in the eastern region of Ghana, where I come from. I am the first child of 4 children to a single mother who loves to read, loves to watch movies, especially K-series, and loves to explore different cultures and traditions. I am passionate about adding my quota in ending period poverty. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Great to meet you. Hello, Miss Supranational Kenya. Happy to meet you and welcome to the Super Family. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, Ivan. Nice to finally talk to you. My name is Martha. I'm representing my country, Kenya. I am passionate about fighting social injustices, more so gender-based violence. And this is what inspired me to pursue a bachelor degree in international studies, cognizant of the fact that it's global influence and local action that is required to transform a nation. I enjoy traveling a lot, and I am a foodie, and I can't wait to get to Poland so that I can enjoy all the wonderful cuisines.
Yeah, looking forward to meeting you in Poland also. Thank you for introduction, Martha, and great to meet you. Next up, we have Miss Supranational Namibia. Hello. Can you please shortly introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Ramalie Hoffman. I'm a 21-year-old model from Windhoek, Namibia. I'm an industrial psychology student at the University of Namibia, and I'm your prospective Miss Supranational 2023.
Great to meet you, Ramalie. And now it's time for Miss Supranational South Africa to introduce herself. Hello.
Hello, my name is Ayanda Tabete, and I have the absolute pleasure of representing the beautiful country of South Africa. I have a hungry mind that I'm always trying to feed with new information, and I'm very excited to be in Poland.
Great meeting you, Ayanda. Next up to introduce herself, we have Miss Zambia. Hello there.
Hello.
Could you please shortly introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Candy Matthews. I work for Total Energies. I've worked with Total Energies for 5 years. I have a degree in public administration, and I love what I do, so we are here.
Okay, great meeting you, Candy. Thank you for your introductions. It was so great to get to know you better. And now it's time for personal questions. All of these questions will be based on the facts that we've learned from your biography. So get ready. Miss Supranational Botswana, here's your personal question. This is the first time your country is competing at Miss Supranational. What is one thing you want the world to know about Botswana?
The one thing that I'd like our people to know about our country is that we are a country of peace. But most importantly, we are a country that invests more in diamonds because we are one of the few countries that produce the best diamonds in the whole wide world.
Thank you. Next up to answer her personal question today is Miss Supranational Ghana. Helen, which country in the world would you most like to visit and why?
I am someone who is passionate and love to experience different cultures and traditions. So definitely any country that has a lot of culture to display and a lot of culture to experience is a country that I would really love to experience, would love to visit, and which is any country in the Asian part of the world. South Korea, India has a lot of cultures to experience. I don't really love to experience to eat different foods, but when it comes to clothing, when it comes to culture dance, I am in for it. And I'm so glad I'll be going to Poland as well because I know Poland is a country full of natural sights and scenery and a lot, cultures and traditions that I would love to experience as well.
Very true. You're always welcome here. Thank you, Helen. Miss Supranational Kenya, Martha, here's your personal question. You have 8 cities you would like to travel to, and there's quite an interesting story behind it, right?
Yes.
Could you please share the story with us?
So I got to be a fan of Money Heist, and I loved all the characters, more so Berlin. So Berlin is a character who is diagnosed with a very serious disease, and instead of wallowing in self-pity, he comes up with this idea which he passes on to his brother to hold a heist in a Bank of Spain. And what I enjoy mostly about Berlin is his that he's able to turn his pain into a positive thing. Most times when we are faced with challenges, we tend to focus on the negative. But what Berlin teaches me is that we can turn our pain into strength. And having said that, I'm not saying anyone should go hold a money heist. You'll be jailed. So I enjoyed all the characters, and I would like to visit all those characters. It's one of my goals in life.
Okay, thank you, Martha. Next to answer her today's personal question is Romilly, Miss Supranational Namibia. Tell us about your love for learning new languages.
So it all started when I watched a telenovela. I was so captivated and mesmerized by the protagonist, and I just had to understand her story in her language. So, of course, this telenovela was in Spanish, and I will not mention her name because she can't know I'm fangirling. But I really wanted to learn Spanish because I wanted to understand the story better. But learning Spanish now is, well, it's in the past.
Okay, thank you. Next up to answer her personal question is Miss Supranational South Africa, Ayanda. How did you overcome your fear of being judged by others?
The biggest key of that was understanding that people weren't judging me so much, but rather that it was a reflection of who they are themselves. And once I came to that understanding, I was able to be perfectly okay with who I am as a person and understand that it wasn't coming from a bad place.
Very wise answer. Thank you. Next up to answer her personal question is Miss Supranational Zambia, Candy. Which of your personal achievements are you most proud of and why?
My most personal achievement is attaining my degree in public administration. I started pursuing my degree in 2016. 2 years down the line, I couldn't continue with school because of personal reasons. One, I was grieving. Two, I had money issues. It took me 2 more years to just sit at home while working. I then decided I could do this. I don't like starting something and not finishing it. I believe in always getting what I put my mind to. I went back to school. Not only did I get my degree, I attained it with a distinction. So I'm very proud of that.
Perfect. Very good story.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your personal stories. Next up, we have questions from Miss Supranational fans community. Not so long ago, we asked them to prepare their questions for you and pick the most interesting. So, if you're ready, let's go. Questions from superfans. Here's your question from superfans, Miss Botswana. How did the moment when you were crowned the first Miss Supranational Botswana impact your life?
Like we've been saying that this is the first ever edition in Botswana. And having to understand that I am the first ever delegate then says to me that should be coming in full force. I mean, I have to be setting examples to those that want to come and compete as well. But most importantly, as a chosen delegate, I should sell my country in a good way to everybody that I'm going to meet and interact with. So it's a big big duty that I'm willing to take on.
Yeah, great responsibility and good luck to you. Next up to answer her question from superfans is Miss Supranational Ghana. Helen, if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be and why?
I really love my life. I am grateful for my past experience, what I've been through in the past, because that is what has made me who I am today. So I would never like to change anything in my life, because if I should change anything, I wouldn't be who I am today. So there is nothing in my life that I would love to change. I love who I am and I love the woman I'm becoming.
Very true. Thank you, Helen, for a great answer. Miss Supranational Kenya, Martha, here's your question from Superfans community. I love this one very much. Thank you, our dear fans, for your questions. How do you turn fear into freedom?
It's an interesting question.
Yes.
How do I turn fear into freedom? So what I like to do mostly when I'm faced with fear is to first acknowledge that the fear is there with me. If needed, I take the time to stay there for a moment. And then after that, I just find the strength to get up from it.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Next to answer a question from superfans is Miss Supranational Namibia. Romilly, what is the best and worst thing about being a beauty queen?
The best thing about being a beauty queen is understanding that you have a platform, to change not only your life, but the lives of those that surround you and the greater community. The worst thing I'll say is, there isn't anything bad about being a beauty queen. It is just a very exciting opportunity. I think public scrutiny can be the worst, but if you have thick skin, you're fine.
Okay, great answer. Thank you, Romilly. Next question from superfans goes to Miss Supranational South Africa. All right, Ayanda, do you feel any pressure being the representative from the country that is currently holding the Miss Supranational title? And if you feel any pressure, how do you deal with it?
If I'm being completely honest, I see it as an advantage. I remember back in my day when I was a pageant fan, how I would always look at the representative of the country that won the previous year. And I'm at a great advantage right now because I know a lot of pageant fans are doing that. I'm very proud with what I have to show, and I cannot wait to show more.
Thank you. Great answer. Next up to answer her superfans question is Miss Supranational Zambia, Kendi. How do you handle criticism on social media?
I believe people will always have an opinion over everything. Whether you do good or bad, they'll still talk. I believe in being true to who I am and to myself. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, as long as I'm not doing anything illegal, and as long as I know my truth, I don't think I should be offended or affected by people's opinion.
Thank you. Very powerful answer. Thank you for this, Kendi. Thank you for your answers. Superfans are super happy right now. At the moment, I'm pretty much sure of that. Next up, we have one question for all of you. General question, one and the same, that all of you will have to answer. If you're ready, let's go. Here's our today's general question, the question we're asking everybody in this group, one and the same. Dabilo, What do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
The most important change that's taking place in our country today is the attempt that the youth is trying to make sure that they combat the issue that we have, that's climate change. So the youth is quite they're coming up with ways in which to try to fight this problem that we have. Now we are seeing them creating cars that are that are chargeable and use no fuel. That on its own says that the youth is really passionate in fighting challenges that we have as a nation.
Great answer. So great to know more about Botswana. Thank you so very much, Dabilo. Miss Supranational Ghana, now it's your turn to answer our today's general question that we're asking everybody in this group. What do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
The most important change that I think is taking place in my country now is the youth trying to take up space, trying to bring out their voice, add their voice to political and economical things that are happening in the country. And I am so happy about that, because at first we used to have, shall I say, the older generation trying to dictate and trying to set up laws for the younger ones, which is something that I think needs to change, and Ghana is getting there. And I'm so glad that the youth are ready to take up space, ready to take up leadership, to be able to add their voice to change the situation that Ghana is facing at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer, Helen.
Martha, Miss Supranational Kenya, now it's your turn to answer today's general question, which goes like this. What do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
The most important change that is taking place today, actually today happens to be Madaraka Day, is the day that we celebrate our independence from colonial rule. So the most important thing that is taking place, although it's not that much, but we still celebrate the little steps that we are taking. It's acknowledging the role of women in society. Before, we didn't have that. Even like women owning a piece of land, which is something that is important in our society. So women owning something like land was a problem, and today they are able to do that. We are able to be given a position in society and to make changes. So that is one of the most important things that are happening in our society today.
Thanks for sharing this, Martha.
Next to answer this group's general question is Miss Supranational Namibia. Romilly, what do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
The most important change taking place in my country is understanding what the children need. I think with the introduction of the new curriculum and the grades that the children have obtained from the new curriculum, I think everyone understood that the children need more in education and they need to be understood much better. So I think the greatest change was changing to a new curriculum to test their knowledge, but also understanding them and helping them to be equipped and well-rounded citizens of Namibia.
Thank you for your answer. Mr. Supranational South Africa, our today's general question to you. What do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
The biggest change that I must say taking place in my country is in our youth. They have learned to persevere more. They are definitely more awake in terms of understanding what is happening. And when I say they, I involve myself as well, because I'm a young person. Because of that, we have become more inclusive and we're continually fighting towards a better South Africa. And that's something I'm very proud of as a young South African.
Thank you, Yanda. Miss Supranational Zambia, our today's general question for you. What do you think is the most important change taking place in your country today?
I think the most important change that is taking place in my country is social welfare. We have a new government that has just come in place. The fact that we have new government, every government comes with their new way of doing things. I believe the new current government is actually concentrating more on social welfare than it was before. We have a lot of groups that are concerned about social welfare. We even in companies, I'll give you an example of where I work at Total Energies. Before, we didn't even concentrate much on social welfare, but because the government is talking about it more and emphasizing on it more, there are campaigns that are going around. So we've actually brought it in the organization. So we have days, for example, where we'll just meet, we'll find out who's not busy, we'll have meetings, and we'll just go out to meet people who are actually have experienced certain things, and we just spend time with them. So it's because the government has recognized it and they're trying to do something about it that everyone is now following suit and trying to do it, which is supposed to be the case because it's something that can affect you, me, or anyone, both either indirectly or directly.
Very interesting to hear that. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, ladies. It was great to get to know you better and hear your brilliant answers. Ladies and gentlemen, let me once again remind you that you can help your favorite candidate advance to the next round of the competition via Super Chat. There's a link in the description box below this video. Make sure to check it out and vote for your favorite contestant in the Miss Supranational app. And please subscribe to Miss and Mr. Supranational YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot of exciting content here. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.